He's suffered fourth-degree burns over 80% of his body. If he survives, he'll be paralyzed from the waist down, confined to a wheelchair.
You say you can save him, but what does that mean? What kind of life will he have?
What kind of suit is this?
It's not a suit. It's you.
What the hell did you do to me?
To hell with this movie. To hell with this movie.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this movie. Did you not hear me? Robocop 2014.
What's your problem, man?
The movie has got me so upset. I'm frustrated with this.
Are you serious?
I'm not bullshitting with you.
Okay.
I'm actually mad about this movie.
Okay.
I'm pretty, I dare say pretty pissed.
Okay. It's rare to see you work up this emotion over a movie.
Well, it's rare that a movie puts me in this kind of position.
Okay.
Because it really is putting me in a bad position, Martin. People talking about Robocop as I said, 2014, the reboot of the original 19-something Robocop. When did that come out?
1987.
1987. I saw Robocop when I was just a wee lad in the theater.
No, I did too. I just moved to Austin. Had a little shitty job at Toys R Us. And barely any money, but I was like, man, I'm gonna go see this movie Robocop. It looks like just some cheesy fun. Yeah. I'm gonna go see it. And not only was it kind of like a satirical, maybe not a masterpiece, but a very hilarious satirical film that I wasn't expecting. It was also so violent that it made me physically ill. And I almost called in to work because I was just like,
really?
Yes, like the scenes where Peter Weller got shot up, I thought I was going to throw up in a theater. That's the only time I ever felt like that.
Really?
Yeah, it really got to me.
Because, see, let me tell you my experience with Robocop.
Okay.
So my sister was living in Tyler, Texas at the time.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know anything about Tyler, Texas, let me just tell you this much. Ain't a fucking thing to do there.
Don't go there.
Don't go there. It is, they can't do shit in Tyler. You want to know how boring Tyler is? I don't know if it's this way still, but you got to drive 20, 30 minutes outside of town to get a beer.
Yeah.
It's a dry county.
Right.
So I don't even know how the hell RoboCop got in there because it's so violent. Because it seemed like it's kind of a very conservative place too.
Well, man, that's how those conservative places are. Sex and alcohol are out, but violence.
But violence is in.
That's all day, especially violence with guns. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. And the funny thing about Tyler, Texas is even though it's dry and it's very conservative, people are always drunk and fucking. You know, how does that happen? But I went to my sister who just dropped me off at the theater. Because this is how much I love movies at the time. So I just stayed at the theater all day long. And what I did was, it was during that time where nobody was watching what you were doing. You pay for one movie, you just walk out, go to another one.
That's true.
So I went in and saw RoboCop. And I was, like I said, I was about 14, 15. When I saw it, I said, shit, I ain't never seen no violence like that. They shot a man's arm off, the dude melting.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they ran over, got his head came off.
Yeah, because they started out with Murphy. They shot off his hand because he was all cocky. He's like, dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Oh, it's just
and they're like,
Let's see if you can do it with one hand.
They blew off his hand and laughed about it while he was going, and they all like, does it hurt?
Oh, yeah. And man, you know what?
And then they capped it off by all of them firing shotguns into him and blowing him away piece by piece.
And blowing him into pieces. And you know who else was laughing? Me. I said, I ain't never seen no shit like this. When it was over, I walked out. Just looked like I was leaving the theater just to let them sweep up so they wouldn't say, hey, sir, you got to leave. I walked out, went in there and took a shit and came back out and saw RoboCop again.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of the original.
Hell yeah. I mean, besides, we talk about the violence. That movie it just had so many great, memorable, quotable lines in it.
Oh, I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah, I'll buy that for $1. Bitches leave.
You know what? That movie taught me everything I need to know about women.
Get off me, man.
Yo, man, I love it so much. In this movie right here, this shit right here has to come out and actually be decent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm mad
because you'd love it if you go like, man, I love the original, but this one is better. Or you'd love it even more. You're like, I don't even know how they made this. See, they did it. It's a piece of shit. I can forget about it. This one is like, nah, it's okay.
But this is my problem. Now, besides having a problem with Hollywood doing remakes and doing them badly, so they come in and they do something that's actually all right. I'm sorry for all y'all out there talking about who already decided, I hate RoboCop. I hate this movie. Because there's some geeks out there, you movie geeks, you already decided, hey, Can't none touch the original RoboCop. I hate this shit already. And I can't blame you. But the thing is that if you take your bias aside, it's an okay movie. It's good. But it still has to live in the shadow of something that's better, and by that virtue, it makes this not such a good movie. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I know exactly what you mean. Because this is a movie where, say if somehow the original RoboCop never came out, you didn't know it was such a thing.
Martin goes into a time machine and kills Paul Verhoeven.
Right, kill Paul Verhoeven, and that RoboCop movie never existed. And nobody knows anything about it. And I mentioned the title RoboCop, and people go like, I don't know, that sounds kind of dumb. And then I saw this movie, I'd be like, damn, that movie was okay.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, look, I don't think I'd go ape shit over this one either, but I'd be like, hey, that was all right.
Yeah. And
however, I go, yeah, that was all right. But ...
See, and that's the thing, but we will never know.
We'll never know.
All I know is I saw this and I thought, fuck, man, this is so frustrating. There's a lot of cool things you're doing here, but you can't touch the original. Now, I know the original, there are certain things that if you, see, there's a trade-off here, because some defenders of this movie, they say, well, the original RoboCop, if you pull everything aside, it's still a goofy film. It's really just a dumb action film without all the satire there and everything. But
come on, that makes no sense to say, well, if you take away the great dialogue and the satire, what have you got? Well, not the same movie.
A lot of people like to come out and say, people say they like to come in and say, oh, RoboCop was just a dumb action film, and I say, stop that. That movie was a smart movie than even fans of the movie give it credit for.
Yeah.
And this movie right here, that's what's missing from it. Yeah. It's not that smart. Now, the two plots are in premise are the same. You have a cop named Alex Murphy. Now, the original was played by Peter Weller.
Right.
Now, here it's played by an Eminem knockoff.
It's played by some dude we're never going to see again.
You know what? I don't know. This guy's been in a lot of stuff.
Has he? Because I looked for his name, and I saw his name. I was like, don't recognize him.
Joel Kinnaman. He's actually been in a lot of things. I'm not gonna go down the list right now because that's what the internet is for.
Just name me two things.
God damn it! See, I told you I wasn't gonna do this.
Because you don't know.
Why are you doing this to me, man? You see, people.
He was in a commercial for CougarLife.com and the Dollar Shave Club.
Okay, two things. He was one of the main actors in The Killing, the TV series.
Okay.
And he's in RoboCop. Apparently, he was also in a Swedish series.
Okay. Is he Swedish?
Yes.
Because there was something weird about his accent.
Well, that was funny to me because I'll tell you about that in a little bit because this guy right here, he's a Swedish guy. And he's not exactly pretty boy, but he does seem like something he looks like the B team for the CW, Right,
he does.
Yeah, when one of the pretty boys don't show up that day, they say, all right, get him off the bench. Come on, not so pretty boy. Suit up. Put your gel on in your hair. Come on. Rush. Okay, so now, if you remember the original, RoboCop is going after some criminals. In the middle of it, he's in this investigation. He gets killed, and there's a corporation. They have to get through a loophole of wanting to bring robotic law enforcement in.
Right.
The loophole is they have to take somebody. In the original, is someone who is not technically alive, and they make RoboCop. Now, in this one, the thing is they don't want robots on the street because robots can't feel. So they say
there's a law that you can't have robots out there doing that.
Yeah, and so in this one, it's not so much that they have to get through a loophole just putting a man in a machine. They have to actually, in this one, they have to have something with a soul, something with feeling, someone who can actually think about the act of something violent in case they have to, in case there's an accident, or what if they kill a kid or something.
Right.
We need to give Americans a product they can love. A figure they can rally behind.
Sir, I have dissected this bill. There are no loopholes. We can't put a machine on the streets.
Forget machines. You saw the polls. Americans don't want a machine. They want a product with a conscience. They want something that knows what it feels like to be human. We're gonna put a man inside a machine.
So that's where this movie kind of succeeds, man. This movie right here, it's thoughtful, and I think the writing is smart. I think it's smart science fiction. It goes into that area of science fiction that I like when it comes to asking those questions about consciousness when it's in a machine, or in this case, when it's a man in a machine. But then, when you do that, that's when you start getting into the gentle side of Robocop. I want that Robocop that's shooting people in the nuts and, throwing people through windows and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yanking people's dicks off. And I mean, Martin, the thing is, and I thought about this for a while.
Yeah.
What I mean by the last Robocop is smarter than what people think is because a lot of people think that, all right, it was violent. And that's all they think of. And even then, I'm going to challenge you and say, but yeah, wasn't that some pretty artistic violence?
Well, it's the thing, man. It's Paul Verhoeven. And Paul Verhoeven, he throws a great party. Like when he's going to do something, he doesn't half step. And that's the beauty of it. Like, you could give him something where on paper you go like, that's stupid.
Oh, yeah.
And he might go like, yeah, sure. But wait till you see what I do with it. I'm going to take it to that next level. Like, you expect it to stop around here. And I know that.
Yes.
But I'm going to just push it a little bit further and a little bit further to where you might have thought it was stupid, but you're going, God damn.
Yeah. You do want to invite Paul Verhoeven to your party. Now, when he leaves, you might be missing an arm or something. Half the room might be dead, but
But it's one of those things.
You'll be like, God damn, I had a good time.
He'll take something, a Total Recall or Starship Troopers, and he just pushes it to that next level to where, you're like, hey, man, somebody calls it dumb. I can't really defend it, but I remembered. I'm never going to forget this movie.
Yeah.
It's stuck in my head, and I'm remembering it in a positive way.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing you have to think about. Now, let's just go past the violence. Yeah. RoboCop is violent. Get that shit out your mind because if you scrape it back a little bit, RoboCop was also a great satire. And some people say, well, everybody's saying the satire was a satire. So you think I'm stupid. I know it is. At the time, and I was too young to know this, but I think all of us can reflect now and say, this whole thing was a satire of Reagan politics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I know a lot of you conservatives out there, that's why you don't like the movie. But for somebody like me, he kind of swept it in and said, I'm gonna bring in some John Wayne gun violence and poke fun at you too.
Yeah, taking the whole, the Reagan politics, Bernard Getz, the subway vigilante.
Was that at the time?
Yeah, it was receiving around that same time.
Okay.
It was just like, it's like, okay, you want, you want to be a conservative who's tough on crime. Let's extrapolate this and see where it goes.
See, I like the RoboCop. See, in this movie, I like what they're doing. I like the ideas they're presenting. Like I said, it's more thoughtful. In this, we have a RoboCop that is very conscious. And for a while, it's this movie made me think. Like here's the deal. When I saw the last RoboCop, I said, shit, shoot me up right now. Shoot my arm off right now. I want to be RoboCop. Everybody wanted to be RoboCop. Shit, they even at the club, they even had a dance called the RoboCop. They had motherfuckers doing this and turning their head. Look,
where did you grow up? I ain't never heard none of this.
I grew up in cool areas, man. But it had the coolest clubs. You had the RoboCop back then. Man, they actually had a dance called the RoboCop.
That makes it sound like your club was full of dorks.
You just don't know, man. It was a modified version of the robot. It
wasn't a Running Man.
No. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is some Peter Weller RoboCop shit, man.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, you walk to the club, to do it, you actually had to wrap yourself in Reynolds wrap and shit. But everybody wanted to be RoboCop. You thought it was a badass thing to be RoboCop. But this movie, you look at it and you say, fuck, man, I don't want to be RoboCop.
No, hell no.
This movie really put in perspective what it's like to be a cyborg.
See, a big thing for me with this movie is like, despite the fact that it had good pieces here and there, for the most part, it's just nothing memorable, except for one thing.
What's that?
Is when they show Murphy dismantled, what he looks like without all the robotics on. That is the one chilling image where you're like, oh, I'm going to be having nightmares about that.
We see all these movies where we got these cyborgs with these big ass bodies and shit. We still think that, oh man, they work out and shit. No, that shit is built.
Yeah.
Now pull that shit apart. And when you realize you ain't got nothing but a lung and a throat.
Man, it was like that Mr. Show skit where he's like, he's pretty in bad shape. Doc, I don't care if his hair's in a fishbowl. Oh, well, all right, then come check it out. Yeah. You're like, oh, shit, I didn't mean that.
Yeah. Shit, when they pull back that suit, you ain't nothing but a head and a pair of shoes. No, man, I don't want to be RoboCop no more. That was actually pretty enlightening here. And the other thing that this movie has going for it, it has a great cast. Now I can say
It does.
in the last movie, a lot of the actors in there, and I'm not saying all of them. Peter Weller was great as RoboCop. Nancy Allen was great as his partner.
Sure.
And then
Well, you had Miguel Ferrer as the guy from God, what was the corporation called? I don't know. He was the guy who got the RoboCop program going.
Yeah. Was it Omnicorp? Was it in America? But he was the cocky guy, the cocaine sniffing executive, the one who had the hose, and the bag had to come in and said, "Bitches leave." And he got
Ronnie Cox as old man Dick. And Red Foreman from that '70s show. Clarence Boddicker. One of the best villains of all time.
That's the thing about it. I'm gonna go back into some of the things that this RoboCop has over. But I would say that there are some things that are improved. For the most part, we're talking about some of the actors, but here they got top-notch actors. Gary Oldman as the scientist that works at Omnicorp.
Yeah.
That has feelings for RoboCop. Doesn't feel good about what he's doing. You have Michael Keaton as the head of Omnicorp, evil Steve Jobs. Some people say, what's the difference? Shit, you know that if Steve Jobs would be here, we have our robot still going on. And then you had one of the best casting choices in here is
Abby Cornish.
Well, Abby Cornish as the wife of RoboCop, and that was cool. She was torn, man. That was something that they touched on in this movie that they didn't really talk about in the last movie. That RoboCop had a family, and they didn't really go into the family's feelings, maybe briefly. And then Samuel Jackson.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, say what you want. This is about the closest thing you're going to get to the original movie because Samuel Jackson is cast as an outrageous conservative talk show host, and they bring in the satirization of him talking about the RoboCop program and
he's kind of like,
you don't like robots, you hate America.
Yeah, he's kind of a Glenn Beck figure who's he's a TV demagogue who just says whatever he wants to with his conservative agenda.
Yeah,
and he is the only thing that has the spirit of the old movie as far as being a satire.
These two officers are completely unaware of the monster in their midst. And then, in 60 seconds, I repeat, just 60 seconds, Detective Murphy brings him down.
You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you.
This, my friends, is the future of American justice.
I mean, maybe just figured like, hey, we can't touch that satire, so they don't even try. It ends up being just a straight sci-fi action movie.
Yeah. And then the effects are better. Hey, if you like Ed 209, you like that stop motion Ray Harryhausen shit they did in the original, because you remember that shit was a toy.
Right, true.
The Ed 209 was a toy, was a miniature, you could tell, it was stop motion shit here. Not only do you get like a realistic looking Ed 209, but here, take fucking 10 of them. You know, you want more of that? We know you want more of that. And they all look cool. But even with all that going on, it is the satire of the original that they cannot touch, because that satire, that violence, that stood out heads and shoulders above everything else, regardless of whether it was science fiction or anything that was out that year. Right. People knew RoboCop. RoboCop made an impression. This movie does not make an impression. And second of all, more importantly, sure, RoboCop cares about his family in this movie, but you know what? I like it when RoboCop don't give a fuck about his family.
It did seem to work better when he didn't. And here's the thing, because Abby Cornish is like a really good actress. She's actually kind of too good for this. Matter of fact, here's the problem, is that she's a much better actress than this guy, Joe Keekeman, whatever it is. and he is an actor. Like, his character as Murphy, he's a tough cop who wants to bust these other cops.
Yeah.
But I didn't really feel anything for him.
No.
And when he goes down, it's like, all right, well, this just moves the plot along. And then as RoboCop, it's like he can't really, he's not the robot that much. He keeps trying to be himself. And the more he is, I'm like, well, you're not really being RoboCop here. You're just doing your own thing.
The thing is, you just want to stop and tell him, and I respect this movie, but you just want to stop and tell RoboCop, quit being a bitch. Yeah. Look, man, you a badass machine. I say, fuck my family, man. I'm doing cool shit now. In fact, I would have went back home and told my wife, bitch, you were holding me down. You were holding me back.
Well, the whole idea of him having this family that he wants to get to, but they've taken away his humanity.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of pathos there. That should pull at you. I mean that goes back. It predates RoboCop. There's like Deathlock from Marvel Comics. That was like one of the first things that start that. RoboCop is almost directly taken from that.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, but it's only relevant because they've brought that character into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just like in the last episode.
Okay,
but I remember seeing like other like direct-to-video movies like The Vindicator that did it, and Spawn. Spawn's the same thing. Guy stolen away from his family, trying to get back. Now he's all fucked up and can't really connect with them. But the thing is, with these in this movie where he's trying to reconnect with his family, that should be like really touching. Like, oh man, they took so much from him. But it's just kind of like, you know what, dude, get back to work.
Well, and again, I'm sorry, people, that this is what you made a remake. This is what you get. Right. I'm telling for all you motherfuckers out there talking about, well, you have to hold this movie. No, I don't. There's a fucking movie out there called RoboCop that is more memorable than this. And I'm gonna tell you something. It's here that when it's the violence that was the impetus for you wanting to see RoboCop get his humanity back, because they fucked him up so bad. Now I'm saying I've laughed, but when you see Peter Weller as Murphy just being tortured,
right?
Not just shot down. He's like, oh, I'm dead. Go get his body and put him in a suit.
That.
No, he's tortured, man.
I was traumatized by that.
And there's a part where I got mad, man. The part where what's his name? The
Clarence Boddicker?
Yeah, when he was sitting up there with that rifle and he was about to blow his hand off, he was just mentally torturing him at first. And you're thinking, man, they tortured this guy so bad. The violence, first of all, makes you want to see RoboCop get all these motherfuckers, man. Hurry up and get your mind back so you can kill this asshole here.
Right.
And then it also made you more sympathetic towards that character. Yeah. Guy's traumatized twice. He got killed as as Murphy and then brought back as RoboCop. But it also created, when you got a guy that cruel, a guy that sadistic, that creates such a great villain.
I know.
Are you gonna remember any of the fucking villains in this movie?
Were there villains in this movie?
Exactly.
Yeah. A couple of crooked cops working for a guy who you barely see. The biggest villain.
We don't want to say anything.
Oh, we
that's
don't?
a spoiler. Yeah,
you think that's a spoiler?
Yeah, it is. It is. You know what I'm saying? It's a spoiler. Trust me. I know your spoiler powers are kicking in. You about to go to the.
Okay, all right.
It is a spoiler. Cause they don't reveal that anywhere. Nobody knows.
Okay.
I don't see how you don't understand this. But it is
because it's halfway through the movie. It's like even from the very beginning when he shows up, you could tell he's up to no good.
You can.
Anybody can.
But the people out there.
You have no faith in our audience.
Martin, let me help you, man. Because if you say this, they're going to be calling you the spoiler again.
Hey, man, I'll shut up. But it ain't nobody who ain't going to watch this and not know what's going on. Matter of fact, they're going to see his name in the credits, see what character he's playing, go like, oh, I know what he's all about.
For the sake of not offending our audience, sure, they're smart enough to see this. But really, some of them are. I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear it when they come on here talking shit. Help me help you, brother. Listen, the best thing that I can say about this film is that it in addition to the actors that we have, I mean, you have some other memorable characters in there. I thought Jay Bruchel was good as a marketing guy for Omnicorp. I mean, he's
I
small
found him not
character.
Annoying this time. And little Jackie Earle Haley comes in with a good role.
Jackie Earle Haley is very good. He's a sleazy soldier in here. He's so cocky. He doesn't, and there are certain scenes that work better than I thought they would. Jackie Earle Haley coming in and challenging RoboCop because he doesn't like it. He says, "I'm used to the actual robots being all around the world. I work with them. I trust them." And then he decides to look at this and he said, "This thing right here, no, I'm not with this." But they had that scene where he's testing RoboCop out, the human, robot, and he's like saying, and they start playing "If I Only Had a Heart" from the Wizard of Oz.
Heart.
And I'm thinking when they first started playing it, I thought, oh shit, here we go. And when I saw it, I was like, that doesn't work that's not so bad. It actually works all right.
Except,
yeah,
I don't know how you go skip over this. The fact that besides not having the violence, the action scenes in here were so unmemorable, so unimpressive, so just like I don't even know if they shot action scenes or if they just did captures from a video game. because almost every one of them was straight up a video game that they just did a screen captures of.
Martin, welcome to the world of PG-13 marketing. Because that's what they want to do today. Now, and it's good and bad what they're doing here with this PG-13 RoboCop. It's bad for the reason that you just said. The violence is toned down. The movie feels a little more generic.
Well, it's not even like most of the time he's fighting other robots.
Well, that's some G.I. Joe shit.
Yeah, some G.I. Joe shit. And
to avoid killing human beings.
And it's not even shot very well. Like most of the time I couldn't tell what was going on, let alone cared. And then when it's with humans, it's in the dark using thermal vision. Even that's shot in a way like, I don't know who's getting hit, who's not.
Yeah. And see, he's doing that shooting robot shit. I was like, man, you ain't episode 1.
Right.
Shoot a person. Don't be George Lucas and be afraid to shoot robots. I mean to shoot human beings. Yeah. You ain't got to do that. But see, they want to make this a new reboot for the teenagers out there. They want to get that money now. It's all about marketing. They want to bring in more of an audience. And they think that RoboCop, sure, it's the kind of thing that they feel, yeah, it's not going to be for you older people out there. This is not going to be your...
It ain't your daddy's
It ain't your daddy. In some case, it ain't your granddaddy's RoboCop. The softer RoboCop. And we want to do that because we want to put it out there for the kids. For those kids, because I've heard it said... I was reading one review. They said they actually did a poll for the sake of their review, wanting to figure out just how many people how many young people really knew about RoboCop.
Right.
And a lot of them, it's waning with each generation.
Sure.
For some reason, I think we kind of forget that RoboCop, while it was somewhat of a phenomena, it was a cult phenomena.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything like. I don't think it was anything that blew up at the time.
No, it wasn't like Back to the Future, but it wasn't enough for them to make 2 sequels and a Saturday morning cartoon.
Thank you very much, because that was my other thing. While this RoboCop, you can't even hold it near the original RoboCop.
You can hold it near RoboCop 2 and 3.
It's a better sequel than than 2 or 3 that came out.
Yeah.
It's even a better TV show than that live action RoboCop.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Or the cartoon. And let me tell you something. That cartoon was the closest thing to a RoboCop sequel that you had at the time.
Right.
It was better than 2 or 3, which were both cartoons in their own right.
Right.
And 3 was so badly acted. 3 actually, I think, went to PG-13.
Oh, okay. I can believe that.
Yeah, it did. I think 3 was a PG-13 movie. So, I mean, for all of you who wanted a RoboCop sequel, you kind of got one here.
Kinda.
It works better.
That's the thing. Had they done it as a sequel, I would have been like, okay, fine, no big deal.
Yeah. So, like I said, depending on the audience that you are, I don't think that this movie's a complete waste. They had some. I would dare say they had some very good ideas. Not great, but some good ideas that they played out well in some parts. In some parts, they didn't.
Like of all they did to build RoboCop, here's the thing that got to me. I mean, not a lot, but like, okay, before we get to RoboCop, they go to a veterans hospital and they show like what they've done with robotic prosthetics, with cybernetics.
Yeah,
and it's all like like things like that they have today. Now it's not even like science fiction. Like this stuff you might see today, but when they have RoboCop, they're like, okay, this guy is state of the art. His ass is big and clunky and weighs about 12 tons, as opposed to these light aluminum prosthetics that people are walking around with today like it ain't nothing.
Are you talking about RoboCop?
Yeah.
Himself?
Yeah.
But he moved fast. I bet he get your ass. Try to break the law. See how fast you can outrun him.
Well, he sure can't take a bullet. That's like, wow, did they put no tactical programming in him? It's like, okay, you go into a room that's got 15 guys with guns that can hurt you. No kind of stealth move. Nothing. Just walk right in and just take as many shots as they got.
Well, I mean, I can let that slide. The one thing that bothered me in this is that, look, maybe in the original RoboCop, I can let that slide. That was old times. But This movie is 2028. You give this man a complete, almost bulletproof body armor, and you still can't cover that fucking chin up?
I know.
Really, was it did y'all run out of money just at that one part right there?
Well, I think that was so that the public could always know that there was a man inside.
What, even when he was, okay, in the public, when he's greeting kids and shit, sure, show his whole face. But when he's in the middle of a fight, you can't have a little visor that comes down to don't let Jay Leno become RoboCop. That motherfucker have his face shot right off. Like, really, just that one part.
Right.
Right there. Y'all didn't have no money for that or no special effects. Oh, whatever, man. I think the movie is a decent film. If you're younger and you're not used to RoboCop, I would even say watch this and get inspired to watch the original. If you hate the movie, I mean, if you've already hated this movie, if you love RoboCop and you made your mind up, I would go on a limb and say there is nothing about this movie that is going to change your mind. You're going to walk out with a chip on your shoulder just like you came in.
I think anybody who walks out with a chip on their shoulder, it's a chip because they are actively holding it on their shoulder. Because you watch it, I wasn't enthused about this and was prepared for it to suck. Even I had to come out and go like, it's okay. There's no reason to get mad at this. I'm not sorry I saw it. It wasn't like a waste of my time. It's just not. It's not a movie that I'm ever going to run out to see again. But if I'm at somebody's house and it's on and they're watching it, I'm gonna let them enjoy it. I ain't gonna be like, man, turn this off.
Yeah, you are. You're gonna be back. You ain't gonna sing. You'll be back there grumbling. Can I just watch the movie, man? I hear you back there.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. In the first one, it was a lot funnier.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd buy that for $1. See, they didn't even know how to do it. Right?
Yeah. No, this is. But outside of that, if I had to be fair, this is what they call. I'm gonna sound like your grandpappy now. This is what you call one of them good old fashioned Saturday afternoon movies. Man.
Yeah.
You don't pay full price for it.
Right.
You don't need to go at night to see it because your girl ain't gonna want to see it.
Right.
She don't say I want to see that
ain't
bullshit.
Nothing there for her.
Ain't a fucking thing there for her. Go see it by yourself in the middle of the day. Pay a matinee price for it. You'll be just fine.
Yeah. Or probably get drunk and go with your friends at midnight and see it.
No.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
No, because chances are at least one is going to be that fucking asshole geek. Yeah, he's not like the original. Yeah.
They sit there the whole time going,
Yeah.
oh, God.
Yeah. I do that big old sniff. Shut the fuck up, man. I'm not even liking it that much either, but I'm not an asshole. You know what I mean? And I can't reiterate as much, but if this movie did one thing right, it made that original RoboCop look even smarter.
I know, it did.
All you thought it wasn't that smart. Go watch this shit and go back and watch. You be like, damn, man, this movie actually has something to say. This RoboCop ain't saying nothing.
That is the thing. It's like to remake this movie, to put it over, all they had to do was have some kind of social commentary.
Yeah.
It's kind of really not there.
Well, actually, the movie does try to make small social statements here and there. I mean, it hints at privacy issues and American policies when it comes to drone warfare, but those are brief and they don't make an impact at all. It's very forgettable. But the movie does work in the area of science fiction. I think it's very smart science fiction in some parts. And just because you made Alex Murphy a wigger now, because he was a... Hey, yo, there's a part you're going to buy some guns.
We're going to come at him hard.
You're going to come at hard. Yo, who you working for, man? Man, cut that shit out.
I know.
All right, he ain't no more of a badass, than Peter Weller was, just because you made him a 6-foot Eminem now. I'm about to give a fuck.
Wigger cop.
Yeah. Shit, that motherfucker might as well be a little candy Eminem to me. Don't give a fuck. Michael
Kenneth Williams.
Yeah, they didn't give him much to do.
No, they don't.
No, not at all. So anyway, man, I what would you rate it to?
I'm right there with you.
Would you say the same thing?
Yeah. If we went on the afternoon and saw it and didn't pay full price, it'd be all right.
All right. Glad to see we're in agreement there, because that makes it easier to move on to some trivia now, Martin.
Oh, the trivia.
Yeah. See, you love RoboCop, you say, right?
Did I say that? I kept hearing you say it, and I was not.
No, you said it. No, we can go back and rewind this. Okay. You said it.
All right.
I got you.
All right. I love RoboCop.
That's why I record this shit. It's the only reason why we do a show. The only reason why we get in the website is I can prove you wrong. But we have some trivia about this RoboCop as well as from the rich history of the original RoboCop. Now let's see what we got here for you, Martin. All right, this is good right here. So since RoboCop is behind a suit and a mask through the whole movie, there's a lot of people they could have got to do it. And they did want some bigger names at the time. Some people listed to play the role of RoboCop, a.k.a. Alex Murphy, were Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, Michael Fassbender, and Russell Crowe. For some reason, I don't see any of them wanting to do this shit.
Either.
And you don't see them doing this shit.
They are all too big for that.
Yeah. Let me get this straight. You want to cover my face up through most of the movie, put me in a big ass fucking Tin Man suit. Go fuck yourself.
And it's funny how often they have him have his face not covered up in this, and it's like, hey, this guy ain't no big star. It ain't like we need to see his face.
No,
cover it up.
Why do you think they got bigger stars to play people who are not covered up?
Right.
Shit, you could even put a pimp perm on Samuel Jackson, but you see his face, right?
All the time.
And by the way, Samuel Jackson got mad, had to throw a motherfucker in there somewhere. Don't think just because it's PG-13, you gonna stop him from saying motherfucker.
It is like the movie ended, and he said, whoa, come back. I ain't say motherfucker. It's in my contract.
It's in my contract, yeah. Motherfucker. Okay, but that's a wrap. Go home.
Because actually, no, the movie was over, and then it came back to him.
It was done.
Because it ended in such a way, you're like, wow, that's kind of a whimpery way to go out.
Hey, bring the cameras back. Now, for the role of, I forgot the guy's name, Michael Keaton played, he was Raymond Sellers, the head of Omnicorp, the guy who was funding the whole project to bring Robocop to reality. That role was considered to be played by Clive Owen and Hugh Laurie.
Oh,
now, I could see that.
Sure.
But even then, they said, fuck no.
Yeah, I still got checks rolling in from house. I'm gonna say no.
Got to do this shit, slumming in this shit. Come on, man. I like RoboCop.
I know. And Clive Owen's like, yeah, I don't make hit movies, but I'm friends with George Clooney, so I'm gonna say no.
Don't you smell George Clooney on me? Fuck you. Get out of my house. Actually, in our office, Mr. No, you get out there. All right. Then now for our next piece of trivia. Most of the filming of this movie was done in Ontario or Toronto. People love shooting in Canada.
It's cheaper.
Tax breaks and everything, yeah. Production for a RoboCop remake has actually been going on since 2005.
Ooh.
They've been trying to do this for about 9 years now, almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now let's go into some original RoboCop trivia right here.
Okay.
Now in this movie, we see in the remake, a more slick RoboCop. Got that nice Batman suit on. Right. That's what everybody was saying. He looked, man, come on now. You know, man, give Christian Bale his suit back. You ain't fooling nobody. Just because you shaved those ears off, don't mean we don't know what that is.
Well, they threw in 2 Batman actors.
That is true. Michael Keaton and who else?
Gary Oldman.
That's right. How can I forget? Very good. Too bad we don't have any trivia for that here right now. But in the original RoboCop suit, it took Peter Weller up to 8 to 11 hours to put that on.
Damn, that's a long time.
That's a long time for just to slap some fucking metal on him. Oh well, that's what it says here. Now we were talking about Paul Verhoeven and how much he loves violence and all this kind of stuff. Now the reason why he wanted to take this movie is because he saw RoboCop as being a retelling of the story of Jesus.
Oh, are you serious?
Guy's crucified, comes back, kind of a savior for the city. Jesus, man, Jesus in a tin can.
Wait, okay.
Jesus in a can.
I thought Jesus did all his saving of people before he got crucified.
This is, well, shit. I guess RoboCop's more real than Jesus. RoboCop actually came back. He ain't been promising for hundreds of years. Like, I'm gonna come back one day.
Yeah, I think Jesus came back just to like look around and go like, see ya.
Yeah, shit, I'm gone. Shit.
Oh, you think I'm gonna stick around so you can do that to me again?
Jesus, like, yeah, you beat the fuck out of me. You think I'm staying here? Shit, I'm going up into heaven. Going to the best club in the world.
I just want everybody to see me. Out.
So, and you know when he was going to heaven, he looked down and everybody's like, fuck you. You know he actually grabbed the hand of somebody on his way up and let him go halfway through.
He took a piss while he was floating upwards.
Yeah. Like pigeons shitting on people on his way down. Somebody got Jesus shit on their head. Here's something interesting. I don't know if you knew this, but the original RoboCop script, it was turned down by every foreign and American that read it, including Paul Verhoeven. Now, did you know this?
No, I didn't.
Now, it was Paul Verhoeven's wife that actually read it through herself. And she actually
You need to make this movie. You ain't doing nothing else.
Look at you, feeling sorry for yourself.
Please, I'm trying to write my own script. Your own script sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. We need a new refrigerator, Paul. And you ain't doing a fucking thing.
Okay.
All right, shit. But she actually said, look, this really has some good subtext to it. You need to consider this. He reread it and took the job. Also, he was having some government problems in Holland. So,
was he?
So he had to get the fuck out of there. So.
Okay.
All right, I got some questions for you.
Okay.
Don't know. Hey, man, you love RoboCop. You know some of this. Let's
Sure.
try this out.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, for this RoboCop, I told you, they were trying to make this since 2005. But it was around 2010, 2009 that they started touting a director who was going to take the job. Who was this director that was originally going to direct this movie? You want to take a guess?
Michael Bay.
That's a good guess. That's a good guess.
However, wrong.
I'm going to give you a hint.
Okay.
It's a guy who is always he's always put out there. He's going to direct some big budget film.
Oh, Guillermo del Toro.
No, fuck you, man. I'm just going to give it to you.
Okay.
See, I told you to think about these things. If you think, you might get it. It was actually going to be, well, shit, I've got to put his name down, but Darren Aronofsky.
Oh, did I hear that? You know, he was always attached to Frank Millerish projects. Maybe that's why I'm thinking. But yeah, I thought I did hear Aronofsky at one point.
If you took your time and thought about it.
I wouldn't have come up with that though.
Oh, and you don't have faith in yourself either. So disappointed in you. Here's another question. Now, I gave you a list of actors out there who were going to play RoboCop in this remake.
Right.
I listed some big names. This should be easy for you. I'll even give you 2 chances to get it. Name one obvious actor that I left off that list that they said was going to play RoboCop.
An obvious actor?
A very obvious actor. One of those guys you hear all the time. Hold on, everybody. Let me put some air in Martin real quick. It's deflating over here.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
This is one of those things where you can just throw out a fucking name and you might get it. 2 chances.
Robert Downey Jr.
No.
Man, I don't know.
Just throw a name out there.
Just throw a name out there.
Yeah.
Obvious answer.
Yeah, very obvious. A director who
Cage.
No. Johnny Depp.
Oh.
That's why I just throw a name out there, but obviously that didn't fucking work. All right, I got one more question for you, and this is an easy one.
All right.
I told you that this RoboCop was filmed, this remake was filmed in Canada.
Ontario. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Toronto.
Where was the original RoboCop
I
filmed?
want to say Dallas.
Yes, you got it. I knew I could give you something.
Yeah, I think that one was in Dallas and the second was in Houston.
I didn't know about Houston, but Dallas is one of the main areas, and the story takes place in Detroit.
Right.
That's another thing about this movie. Detroit is fucking clean. Detroit is bankrupt right now.
The funny thing is, like, Detroit is empty because part of the reason it's bankrupt because so many people have moved away.
Hell yeah.
They could that studio, they could have gone and bought up most of Detroit and filmed there for real.
They could have blew that fucking city up.
Yep.
Like literally.
Yep.
And nobody would say
Yep.
anything. That's another thing that this movie missed the mark on. They had a great opportunity to take advantage of the fact that Detroit is really crime-ridden and bankrupt and dirty.
You know, it's one of those things where they kept telling us that the city was crime-ridden, but it never felt like it was.
No.
I mean, and they really like you know, I hate to do that. Like, well, back in the original, but they really got that across to you that it was like Judge Dredd Mega City 1.
Oh, this movie is just, it looks like it's taking place in the suburbs.
Yeah,
Detroit is just as green and nice. I mean, Ray, I don't need no RoboCop there.
Yeah, that was the thing. It's like, why do they even need RoboCop?
You don't fucking need RoboCop there. Shit, you need a robo construction worker to start building some shit. Fuck it. I would even say if y'all want to see a real RoboCop sequel, a real gritty one, watch the Judge Dredd movie.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give you one bonus question here. Just this is funny, right? This is
Okay. All right.
Whose ass is RoboCop tapping right now? I'm talking about the actor.
The
actually.
actor?
Yeah.
This actor who I'd never seen before just
You're
now.
right. You're right. I'm only telling you this to get you mad. Olivia Munn.
Oh, okay. Well,
You know
good
you
for
like
them.
her. You like her.
No,
Oh, look at
no. I was never into her.
You don't sound like it. The way you just brushed that off. Oh, well, good for them. You know
Hey.
you want that shit.
She's an attractive girl with a forehead like a grapefruit.
I bet you fuck
Oh, I love
forehead.
grapefruit. Don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorite.
Grapefruit delicious. All right, man. That is our review. That is our trivia. That is our game. People, if you want to hear more of our reviews and more of our podcasts, Martin, we have a whole library of it now.
We have built up so much.
Yes, go to our SoundCloud page. I think that SoundCloud page is soundcloud.com/K Coolman.
Yeah, just go to SoundCloud and do a search for.
Type in Korey Coleman.
Korey Coleman,
Korey Martin Show, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to reach me, you can do so. Send me an email at KCOOLMANZ at gmail.com. That's kcoolmans at gmail.com. I'm on Twitter at kcoolman, and you can also find me on Facebook. Just type my name in, you'll find it right there. Robo Martin, how can they find you?
They can look for me on Facebook as Martin Thomas, or go to Twitter, where I will be found as Martin_no-fro.
RoboFro.
RoboFro.
All right, everybody, that was a good time. Thank you very much for listening, and we will talk to you later. Goodbye.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.